Okay, this model kit looks awesome, and this is the A-18 Hornet, and it is a 1/32 scale model, and it's by Academy. The box is absolutely enormous. This is the one from Operation Iraqi Freedom, and it really is impressive. We have, let's see here, I don't even see, the box is so large, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to show you all the details here, but it's just absolutely enormous. It's pretty heavy. It's definitely got lots and lots of parts in it here. Let's see, I'm going to take that box lid off here. And there are our instructions. The parts come in an even smaller box here. I'll look at all of that. We've got many sprues to go through. And we've got a very large decal sheets to look at. So it does come with this little box, and this is going to be a little easier to show, but these are the pictures on the side of the box showing the finished model kit. It's definitely very detailed, and it just looks tremendous. There's a, let's see here, some more pictures of the finished model. It really looks incredible. So in this first box here, so it tells us the contents here. We've got some metal parts, which is our landing gear, thankfully, because plastic probably won't hold up this larger model. Some clear parts, and then screwdriver and screw. Here are the same pictures again. Let's have a look inside. So we have a screwdriver and some screws there. Here are some metal parts, and this looks like this is for our landing gear. That might be part of our nose wheel. Here are our tires. They're pretty soft and flexible, and they've got some nice tread on them. Over here we have our radome, or the front, the nose section of the plane, covers the radar. And then we have our canopy and windshield, very nicely molded. And then all the other clear parts here, for some weapons and head-up display and so on. Now we're going to start looking at our various sprues, and already you can tell this is going to be a very large model, and the details just look phenomenal. So we've got two stuck together here. There we go. Okay, so here is our main gear or wheel well, with, as you can see, a tremendous amount of detail here. It's just exceptionally molded. That's where the screws are going to go to hold the fuselage together. We've got a lot of surface detail with rivet and panel lines all recessed. Here's the top part of the same part of the fuselage, and just absolutely amazing level of detail here. Looks like a little odd there, but that's all tremendous. This is going to be our speed or air brake. Then we've got some more fuselage parts here, as you can see, all very nicely molded. Here are our air ducts, and also again very nicely molded. And over here, I guess they give you tires if you wanted those, but I think I prefer to use the rubber ones. We have lots of little parts here, maybe some cockpit parts, some external fuselage parts. Here we have probably some weapons, and then some of the pods that they'll go on. So that's all nice. Okay, these next sprues, looks like we have some weapons and pylons and some engine parts. This is all very nicely laid out. So let's have a look here. We've got some weapons here, some missiles, and here's our fuel tanks. We've got our engine exhausts, either open or closed. Wheel parts here. This is our turbine or fan for the engine. Here we've got some pylons, and you can see that nice level of detail there. Some of the actuators there for elevators, or wow, that's sharp. For probably for our flaps. Here are our engine parts there. More engine parts, more actuators, and then some of the weapons linking. Looks like we've got two of those. Okay, these next sprues here, looks like we have some more fuselage parts here. And some wings. So first of all, we'll have a look. This is the front part of our, or the leading edge of our wing. It starts, I guess, molds from the fuselage to the wing. Here we've got some fuselage parts here, the panels. This is our nose section of the plane. Some very nice detail here. And wheel well, I guess will go there, and cockpit up here. Here's our air brake. We have some parts here for our, looks like our ejection seat, with some seat belts molded in there. And fuselage former. We've got some more body panels here, and looks like our air intakes there. Over here we have our wings, and they're very nicely molded. Great level of detail, really just phenomenal. The leading edges have been removed, and flaps and so on, those all need to be put on. Here is our elevator. Here's the other one. Looks like they are going to be able to move, so that's very nice. Great level of detail there. These sprues here are our figures, and looks like we've got a few here. That's probably our pilot right there. That's nice detail. We do have some mold lines, and then we've got there's our pilot's head. We've got some arms, some shoes, and we've got two other, actually looks like three maybe there. There's one full body, and we've got another one here kneeling down in the go position, and then we've got another one here, all with the heads, faces, and so on, arms, legs. So that's all very nicely molded. Now these next sprues here, it looks like we're going to have some more fuselage parts, but also parts for our cockpits and ejection seats. So here's our cockpit, very nicely detailed. Here we've got our ejection seats, also again with some nice detail here. And then here are our instrument panels. Some very nice raised details there. Got some more fuselage parts. Looks like maybe part of our landing gear, or maybe that's even for our air brake. We'll have to look and see what that is. This is the back part of our canopy, and maybe the floor, and then lots of little details really everywhere. Okay, we're going to look at this next sprue here. And here it looks like we have some parts for our, probably our wheel well. Over here, some nice molded details, sides here as well. Lots of extra little parts and details, maybe for the cockpit, not really sure. Got some wheel well covers. This is our radar here, receiver, and that goes on here. That's going to be inside the nose. We've got some other parts here for some equipment, and that's the front of our cockpit, and looks like parts of our landing gear here. Lots of little struts. Just tons and tons of extra detail. And these sprues, looks like we've got two identical ones. Looks like all of our weapons. And they're very large. And they're identical, so we'll just look at one. See all the details here on the weapons. Very nicely molded. No flashing or mold lines. Our pylons here. Looks like some bombs. There's the back of the bomb, the front of the bomb. And just all very nicely molded. Here we have some more weapons. And again, it looks like we have some duplicates, or these are two of the same, so we only need to look at one. We've got more missiles here, and bombs here, some bombs here, and laser guided, I guess. All of our rails. This is all just amazing. The quality of the mold as well as the details, just phenomenal. Okay, and then this looks like part of our wing here, the leading and trailing edges. Maybe our well, let's see here, the parts of our flaps and so on. All parts of the wing, and another part of the fuselage here as well. Look at that detail, just incredible detail. Very well molded, very nice. And then we have some more pylons here. And this is our last sprue. And we also have our tails. So there's the tail. Look at that detail. That's just incredible. That's the other side. Here's the second one. And then this looks like this is our rudder. Here are more pylons here. All kinds of extra detail. Just absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so here are our decals, and as you can see, this is a very large sheet with a lot of detail. I mean, this truly is incredible. So let's have a look here. Looks like there can be several different options here, and really just absolutely phenomenal, the level of detail here. And let's look at the other ones here. These must be for the weapons, and again, absolutely phenomenal, the level of detail here. Okay, so here are the instructions. It's a large, thick book, and obviously there are a lot of parts. There's some details here about the plane. And we're going to start off with the ejection seat. Lots of parts here. Then we build our cockpit. And then looks like our nose wheel well. And then we're doing our nose gear, and you can see here we've got some metal parts going in the plastic there. And then we put our wheels here. You can either do the solid ones, the plastic ones, or the rubber ones. And then all those extra little parts there for our nose wheel. And that then gets mounted into our nose wheel well, and the cockpit is put on top. And it looks like this is going to be the single-seater, although it does have the option to make it into a two-seater, but you don't have the canopy for that. And we're going to cover it up with that. And then we're going to build our engines. And not sure how much of that you're actually going to end up seeing, because it's mostly going to be covered, although you might be able to cut a panel open to show that. And then we start with our wings. You can do wings up or down. As though it's being stored on the carrier. And then cover up our air intakes there, or the engine parts. We put our nose parts on there and join that up. And then our air intakes go on. Next we're going to do these little winglets in front. And then we put the flaps on. So these are the different flaps. You can do flap angles, and we'll show you which ones to use. And then our leading edge. And then we've got the other side here. Same thing. Flaps up or down at different angles with the leading edge. And then the little covers for the inside there. And that's if they are, flaps are down. We've then got our tails and rudder, as well as our elevator going on. And there's extra little pieces there. Okay, now we've got our exhausts, and we've got two options there, either with the afterburner open or closed. And build the rest of our nose and our radome with the some antenna in the front there. Now this is optional, that you can build the, this is if you want it closed, this is if you want to show the extra detail there for our radar, and that's quite nice to show all that. Okay, now we're building the main gear. This is our left side, and as you can see, there's plenty of detail. And here's the right side. And then this is mounting it inside the wheel well. Just tons and tons of parts and detail. Got our wheel well covers going on. And on the other side, same thing. This is for our nose wheel. There's our landing hook. And this is the pilot's ladder. Comes out of the underside of that little winglet. Here's our canopy being built. So this is if you want to have it closed. I'd much rather have it open so you can see all the details inside. And then all the different little pitot tubes, sensors and so on for the outside. This is our air brake open or closed. And now we start with our weapons. So, build our pylons. Different options here. Okay, so if your wings are out, it shows you how to cut them here. And there's the hinge. And same for the other side. That's if your wings are going to be up. Lots and lots of options here. And then this is for the how to build the actual wing tips. Okay, now we're building our weapons. So we've got some sidewinders here, and those go on the wing tips. Some AIM-120s, and then some larger missiles, the LIU 127s. There's the AIM Sparrows, some fuel tanks. Those are the bombs there, the paveway, laser guided. Same with those. So you've got lots of options here to choose from. The harpoon looks like a monster. You've got some 500-pound bombs, snake eyes, and just tons and tons of options here. As you can see, this is really a well-made model kit. Extreme amount of detail. It's exceptionally well molded. Great level of decals. Here are the different options here for all of your weapons. You just wish I could carry more. Here are our figures. Pilot 1 and 2, as well as the ground crew and the catapult officer. And that's how to paint them with their different decals in the back here. The decals for the weapons. And we've got some decals here for the plane. So these are all common for no matter what version you use. You're going to be putting these decals here. And now here are our looks like 4 different options. Yeah, 4 different options here. 4 decals. So that's from the gunslingers. Also aboard the Harry Truman. There's another one from the Harry Truman. And they all look pretty similar. I guess they got different nose art. There's one from a different group there. And Royal Maces, another group there. And in the different tops and bottoms there for the different groups. And these are the parts listing. As you can see, there are a tremendous number of parts. And here is the paint guide right here, with lots and lots of paint needed. So overall, extremely well made model, great decals. We've got good cockpit and wheel well detail.